Hello and welcome to the DownShift. In this episode, we will wrap up our thoughts on the Barcelona Shakedown, go over some of the more livery reveals that have come through, and cover off some of the news and whispers around the paddock with some new drivers coming into F1 as it's lights out.
Drop the clutch.
And let's get racing.
Dancing to the music. My favourite theme of all time.
God. Hello and welcome to the Downshift as we are reviewing a week of signings, shakedowns, and Super Bowl surprises. Joining me is welcome back Schwags after his week off due to a chicken satay mishap.
Glad to be back. I've got to say though, I think I don't know what you guys said last week in my absence, but my other podcast about cooking chicken with friends is suddenly dropped off in its subscribers. I don't know why that would be.
But your new weight loss one's taken off, mate. Like you've lost kilos. It's great.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shedding with Schwags.
Yes, the Toilet Appreciation Podcast.
Write that down.
I'm going to write that down. That's a good one.
And we have Lockie, who is still trying to get his weather budget approved.
Oh, I sent the invoice. I just need approval for that one. We're all good.
And Happy, our resident champion for the Downshift.
That's me.
Resident champion.
What am I champion of? Oh, that's right.
Predictions from last year.
Not
for long. We're all chasing it.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, last week we wrapped up the Barcelona Shakedown with 10 of the 11 teams hitting the track in Barcelona, with one team opting for a photo day last week. So we'll talk about that shortly. But basically,
hang on. You said they opted for it. They had no choice but to miss the Barcelona test, mate. There was no decision to be made there. They were forced into it. But yeah,
God, the tin hat's out already.
Oh my goodness.
So look, the reason I'm putting the tin hat on is, to your point, Huppy, is there have been some rumours around the traps that Williams are actually sandbagging. And so the reason why they didn't go to Barcelona is because they're essentially rumoured to have a Brawn-type double diffuser solution that's going to put them ahead of the pack. And so they don't want anyone to see what that actually is. So there has been rumours that they're trying to hide their suspension. There's some magic powder, which is going to make them super competitive this year. So
Or
be that as it may,
their car's just not ready and they're crap.
I have a novice question at this stage. How many years are you sandbagging? After how many years of sandbagging is it no longer called sandbagging?
They've been sandbagging
24.
for a while.
well, you can see
At what
that.
point do you just call it shit? That's still PG, right?
I think we can get away with one per podcast, but why not?
Right.
Yeah, geez, we've gone early.
Sorry if you had it for something better down the track.
Like I can't see I can't see it, Christian. The Earth is round. We landed on the moon in 1969, and Williams just did not have their car ready on time. That's the summary. No, honestly, I think they would have loved to have had the shakedown in Barcelona. Every team did, to get laps on cars. So they're behind the eight ball, and I don't know. I can't see that any one team's going to have such a sort of revolutionary interpretation of the rules that the others wouldn't have thought about it, that they'd want to hide. Like, it seems a bit unlikely. So happy to be proven wrong, but
every team would rather the extra 200 laps of testing and data
500
than hide in the diffuser on the back of their car.
Yep. Yeah. I know. You could be right.
Maybe next week you can prove us wrong, but that's fine. We'll wait for that.
It is our responsibility to share with our listeners and viewers what we hear from around the traps. And so that was a couple of rumours that I'd heard from around the traps. So we'll wait and see what happens as we prepare for Bahrain.
So we'd just like to point out to our listeners at this stage that we vetted a lot of worse rumours.
That did not make the cut. We are not hello.com.
Made the cut.
We are not a gossip mag.
Yeah. Imagine how bad they were if that was the one that made the cut.
Yeah. Yes.
But with that out of the shutdown, so Huppy, you were sharing before in regards to what the teams will be doing now, given that Shakedown's finished, as they're starting to prepare to go into the season.
Well, I mean, this would be probably one of the busiest times of the season. They'd be They'd be busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking competition. They'd be running wind tunnels, looking at all the photos they've got from all the other competitors. They would be absolutely flat out still working on cars and getting them ready for Bahrain, which is coming up in a day or so. So that'll be, very busy time.
So with that, as you said, Bahrain, it comes up this week. So starting on Wednesday, February 11 to 13. So we'll see that there's some coverage. So as opposed to the secret shutdown, shakedown, where we couldn't see anything from the cars, the lap drop times, etc., we'll now have
But we still did.
access to the performance on the Bahrain tracks.
I think they were doing, it's full live timing and there'll be live commentary and stuff. I don't know. I think they were doing like a highlights package at the end of the day or a few hours or something. Yeah.
Sky's doing some coverage, and for those who are subscribed to Formula One TV, they'll be doing it as well. So, so
Lockie will find the highlights reel on YouTube.
I'm pretty good with that.
But we'll get some better coverage, and I think we'll start to get a better indication of what the pecking order is going to be. But as we can talk about soon, it looks like it's starting to take shape already.
Indeed. So the last week has seen a number of livery reveals. So we had Mercedes who did their reveal, or second reveal, on the 2nd of February. Williams who did a reveal the day after. And then Cadillac, who did their reveal today, so during the Super Bowl. So I'm going to throw it in reverse, and we'll start with the Cadillac reveal. So as you can see here, I popped up the countdown that Cadillac had on the website, which when I jumped on was 3 hours and 10 minutes, which as that got down to 0, I've excitedly got on there, and all of a sudden they reset it for another half hour. So obviously the Super Bowl went a little bit longer than I expected it to go. So on the
James Vowles was in charge of scheduling.
He would have loved to be there in 3 hours and 10 minutes. But no, so if you go to the Cadillac website, you'll see the 1 minute video, which starts with ambition, ingenuity, and the pursuit of excellence. As this kicked off Cadillac's livery reveal during the Super Bowl. Now, a great move for Cadillac here in the fact that they're reaching hundreds of millions, and the estimate was 127.7 million global viewers who are watching the Super Bowl today. And this really reinforces the growing popularity and the focus on targeting the American audience with Cadillac in the US.
I think the 127 million is a bit of a stretch because they only show the American ads for the American audience. So all the international feeds, like the one I was watching of the Super Bowl, got stupid local fast food joint ads. We didn't get to see the funny ads and the expensive ads. We didn't see the Cadillac reveal either.
No. If you go to YouTube, you can actually, there's a one that has all the ads lined up, and you can just watch one after the other. So
they're pretty good.
Gotcha.
They're pretty good. Actually, and Cadillac's was great because if you're going to launch your US racing team in the biggest racing series in the world, you want as many eyeballs as possible. It fit in so well with the timing. So I think it was an awesome way to try and get some more followers to the brand.
But happy after you saw the local ads in the break, did you go and get your chicken salad sandwich?
No. I was good today. No KFC.
The burgers are better.
No.
That's not where it goes for a chicken sandwich.
Food. We had a big spread of American food. It was quite good.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm assuming that the American audience is just in rapture over Cadillac in Formula One, aren't they? Like this, I know there was a lot of Americans when Las Vegas and that they were still supporting Ferrari and everyone else, but I think now that they've got their own team, they'll be all for it in a big way.
This is I was going to say, this is the first series team. This is a serious entry, a serious competitor backed by a full automotive brand. So Haas, which is backed by Gene Haas from Haas Automation. Again, a lot of the analysis of this is that Gene is just putting what he can afford to put in, not what the team needs to be.
Yeah. It's a much smaller investment,
contenders.
a much smaller team. Yeah.
Haas using Ferrari engines, whereas here you got Cadillac using Cadillac engine. Oh, not
Ferrari engines.
Ferrari. Well, sorry, but they will eventually be complete.
Yeah,
but F1
package.
F1's still has a small following in the US. It's nothing like NFL, NBA, ice hockey, baseball, nothing like that. So it's been growing because of Drive to Survive. That's been a really good series on Netflix to help grow the audience. We know Formula One's trying to grow the US audience. They're talking about more races there. the Texas race is very popular. You've already got a race in Canada, which is close by. So it will definitely grow the interest. I think there would have been a lot of people watching that going, oh, so we got a team in Formula One. They probably wouldn't have even realised. So
Different audience.
Great.
Well, they're trying to convert the NASCAR
audience.
viewers to get to Formula One. If they can get the NASCAR audience to be watching Formula One, that's a massive win for what they're trying to push for.
Huge pressure. Like you're coming into the biggest racing series in the world, like the pinnacle, and you're putting yourself out there as the pinnacle. And for anyone who hasn't watched the livery reveal for the Cadillac, watch it, because it's not a half-assed effort. They've talking about going to the moon, like they've really, really laid it on. So they're sort of angling this like it's one of the biggest things they can ever achieve. And in the terms of auto racing, it will be if they can make it.
Yeah, so to Happy's point, the JFK, we choose to go to the moon speech. Because when JFK got up there and passionately spoke to, we choose to go to the moon not because it's easy, but
because it's hard, yes.
So without further ado, for our viewers, I will pop up some of the livery here, and this comes under the title, The Mission Begins. As we see here, a couple of the images here from the three-quarter and front perspective.
Was anyone else as disappointed as I was at these liveries?
Well, probably not, because I really like it.
I was, and this is as close as I can get to Cadillac merch, but I'm all in. Seriously, I'm so excited about this entry into F1.
You could get to a black and white top.
No, Hilfiger. So yeah,
American. No, I just thought it looks like an old Mercedes, and like Cadillac's known for yellow. They could have had like a really bold yellow across the theme, like for the actual Cadillac brand itself. And there are no yellow cars on the grid at the moment. I think that really would have stood out. Whereas this is, I don't know. I don't think it's bright enough for Cadillac. But anyway,
this is a sponsor reveal.
Yeah.
Like they've done previous reveals where they've had the Cadillac logo much bigger over the back of.
They could definitely roll something else out.
Really nice.
I just didn't think this was very eye catching as far as the images that you want to release as your first big image release of how the car would look.
To be fair, I don't think anyone wants to drive Tweety Bird down the straight, so you don't want a bright yellow car going down the straight. I think this looks quite aggressive, and if that's coming up the straight, it's going to get good camera time. I like the black and the white on the front wing as well. I think that looks really good. And the side profile with the white in walls for the tyres, also the wheels, I think it's going to look quite impressive as it flies around.
I'll accept Tweety Bird if they're underweight. If they're overweight, it's going to be Big Bird from Sesame Street.
But let's be honest, where's the rear angle of this? Because that's what most drivers are going to see as they come up behind them and pass them, aren't
they? Dan's throwing Look, the Audi, we have a great view of that. It'll be fine. It'll be all good.
Stuck behind the Cadillac, yeah.
But like you, Happy, I thought this harked back to the old Mercedes, but I also think that this is Cadillac taking a conservative approach to entering the sport. And I think there's a little bit of psychology in this, that they're not wanting to go out all in blaze it and hurrah while they're just coming to the sport. If they're not doing amazingly well, they don't want to be the yellow peril that's falling to the back of the track.
So 27, 28, we can expect a yellow car going in the street, is what we're saying? Like, they'll come out with that one.
They want something eye-catching for sponsors from day one. So I would disagree. I think they need something bold.
They've been gung-ho the whole time since they've started the documentary that we're in 100%. We're not here to fill in numbers. We're here to win. Just go, oh, and by the way, here's a car that's half-assed.
I just think it's a smart approach, and they're being conservative in regards to what they're bringing there. What I also liked was the asymmetrical design. Lockie, you picked up on the front wings being black and white, but you can see here from this image, we've actually got the two sides of the car, and you've got the black and the black and white on the other side. So they're two very different cars from both sides as they're being viewed. So I think it's
which side they're getting passed on.
Yeah. I'm happy. It's okay for you to be wrong and not like it. That's fine. Everyone else will be fine. It's all good.
They haven't done a split livery like that in Formula One for a long time. I think it might have been back in the 70s or 80s or something. That was the last time they would have.
I think they Braun actually had one.
Did Braun?
Yeah, Braun from memory. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, not very common. You don't often see it.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different in that regards, but as you're saying, not as in your face as a nice bold yellow car. But hey, who's to say? As we know, teams change livery very quickly through seasons, and Could see something completely different in a couple
You
of
might
races'
get your
time.
yellowish soon enough, Huppy. Who knows?
Yep, fingers crossed.
Get a camel on there.
So from a real livery reveal, we then go to, well, I'd argue, have we even seen a car yet? So as I throw a photo up here of James Bowes, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz from the livery reveal, we did not see a car at the livery reveal here.
Yeah.
What I
Skip
can say
over
about
it,
this
move
photo
on.
is they're looking surprisingly happy in the absence of anything substantial.
It's because they've got their amazing diffuser that no one's seen yet. They know what's going on.
It's because they haven't broken down yet. So therefore they're pretty happy at the moment because they haven't had to push the car back to the pit lane. So it's all good.
So we can see here, it started with a computer-generated reveal, and I've got here the car with the lights flashing past it. Very punchy in regards to the camera work, so it didn't really show much. It was quickly jumping around. And to your point, this was a sponsor reveal. It was literally just focusing in on the sponsor logo, coming out, focusing on the next sponsor logo. But as we now go and look at the car on the three-quarter and the side view, again, thoughts, team?
Yeah, looks good. Nice. I like the colours. I think Williams has done a great job with their liveries for the past 4 or 5 years. I think it's been a really nice looking car to look at. So credit to their designer. Obviously more experienced than Cadillac.
So as we talk about the history, I'll throw the cars up there, harking back to 2022. And so you can see the evolution of the car from then until now. For me, I actually prefer last year's car. I think it was a little bit disjointed here. The black, the white, the light blue, the blue. It was too much, and the flow through the car was missed. So if you look at where Komatsu is, you can see that they've got the white, which then goes to a blue and then goes back to the white on the rear wing. I just think it's a bit disjointed, and they've really just gone to, and look, they've got a great problem to have, is they've got more sponsors wanting to throw money at them, so they've got to fit them onto the car.
Why though? They should make a bigger car. Make a car.
Because it goes slow around the track, you get more time on it when the camera's not. To be fair though, Christian, that is still a better looking car than Alpine. So, in terms of livery. Well, let's be honest.
At least they've rolled out a new livery for this year.
Exactly. No copy and paste.
And look, if we think back to, and it was 2020, 2021, Williams struggled to, I think they had 1.5 sponsors on the car. So, there was no sponsorship livery. So this is a massive improvement for them.
Yeah.
And they're still kept with a Duracell battery at the top. So, that's still the running gag there. It's still powered by Duracell. So, it's going
revolutionary. Right. But we did see Williams get out on track the other day. So they did have a mini shakedown, which was actually a filming day, where they were allowed a maximum of 200 kilometres or 34 laps around the track. So each of the drivers got a controlled running of 17 laps each.
So was it a lap of racing and a lap to go and pick up some parts?
But they are still keeping very mum about it. So Albon basically came out and said it was a very smooth day. And Carlos had said, I'm looking forward to it being Bahrain. So they are expected to do a second photo day on the 10th of February, just before the Bahrain testing.
I mean, they got out there, ran some laps that didn't seem to have many issues or stoppages from what I know. So I guess they did have a fairly smooth day.
For our viewers and listeners, we have our own little WhatsApp chat on the side as we get through the week and share what we're thinking about talking about. And Huppy, I have to say, comment of the year so far from you as we got into the Mercedes livery reveal.
Launch. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of livery reveals, like as you might have guessed. Like they're a bit tedious, and it's hard to make them exciting. But mate, when Toto started talking, I started drifting off. So I think my comment was I switched off mid Toto. It was enough. So I honestly did not watch the rest of it. So you might need to fill me in, Christian, because I'm pretty sure you would have watched the whole thing.
Christian watched the whole thing.
Yes, I'm that tragic. But look, it was vanilla. It was boring as you went through, even just the interviewing. So it went through with Toto, then they talked to Petronas in regards to the fuel, and if you didn't fall asleep during that section, you're a better man than me. So, but then they did go to James Allison, who's the technical director of Mercedes F1, and credit where credit's due. James actually gave a really good description of the active aero and the technical regs. dumbing it down to just a general audience. And so you'll see here, I've put a couple of images up of the rear wing and the front aero as well, where he did explain what that does, and I thought that was actually quite good because a lot of people have not explained this well so far. And so it gave people an idea. So if you do go to the Mercedes F1 YouTube channel, jump on there.
Just fast forward past Toto, because that was really, really boring, and get to James Allison. Because James is very technical, but he's a great communicator. Like, he's a very clear communicator, and worth listening to.
Yeah. So that's at the 12-minute mark to the 19.5-minute mark. So that's all you need to watch for that review. Don't even worry about George and Kimmy. As much as I love George, you can skip that as well. So
just saved our listeners a quarter of an hour. Like, this is great.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're here. We're here to save time. But the other news for Mercedes this week was also, and just very quickly throwing up the image there, we had Kimi Antonelli, who, as part of his driver allocation, got his new company car for the year, which is the Mercedes-AMG GT 63 Pro 4MATIC Motorsport Collector's Edition. So there are only 200 units that are made worldwide. So now there's only 199 that are available for purchase. But so Kimi, that was the big news from Mercedes this week.
And when Kimi returns that, it will need new tyres on the back, just to let you know.
Just a novice question there. Does he get to keep that car, or that's just his car for the year?
Yes, he will get to keep that car.
Keep the car. That's usually part of their driver agreement. So Ferrari drivers
so
might
what do they
get
get,
Ferrari,
like a car a year or something, or
depends on their agreement, I guess. I'm not sure.
Okay, because a lot of drivers have got their own little car collection, don't they, of various.
Well, he can afford to buy some as well, but I think the problem with releases like this or your limited edition Ferraris is that it's very, very hard just to get on the list to even get one. So the fact that you're driving as a race car driver for the team means that you get a spot, whether you want one or not. But ultimately, Mercedes want the Mercedes drivers to be driving around in Mercedes, advertising the brand in whichever country they go to. So wherever they fly, if he wants to go for a drive somewhere, he'll have a Mercedes AMG car lined up ready to go.
And get your tin hat out again, because rumor has it, in order for him to get that car, he had to watch the whole video of Toto from the livery reveal.
And not fall asleep.
Yep. And write a short essay afterwards about what he thought.
Oh, the poor kid, he's just got out of school.
He must have passed because they gave him the keys, so he must have done something right.
He's still young and enthusiastic. He's all right.
Mind you, I wonder as to whether or not with the power to weight, he's going to be able to drive that in the UK.
Different rules over there, mate.
So moving on, we do have a little bit of news in regards to driver signings. So the gentleman that's been getting a lot of our attention over the last few months, one Jack Doohan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things fell through in the Super Formula campaign that he was trying to get up and running. It didn't go to plan, but he's fallen on his feet and he has now been signed to Haas as a reserve driver, joining Rio Hirakawa's.
Good news for Aussies.
That's
the door slightly ajar. You never know, but yeah, good to see him back on the grid in some capacity.
So Jack Doohan there's 2 reserve drivers for Haas?
Correct.
So what that really means is he's probably got some funding and got a spot there, and he's just trying to keep the door open. If he does more simulator work or better simulator work than Rio Hirakawa, then maybe they would prefer to put him in the car if there's an incident. But it's all about getting sim time, getting in with teams and getting a reputation. So that's what he'd be trying to rebuild at the moment.
My question kind of was, with 2 reserve drivers, what are his actual chances of getting into the car on track?
They'd have a pecking order, so they would have a preference.
Because he'll probably still do some practice sessions here and there, like they normally rotate through the drivers potentially.
I think they only do that for rookie drivers who are on their program. Right. So Joshua Dirksen would probably get some FP1 sessions, but not Jack Doohan.
So don't hold your breath for seeing Jack on track.
Not yet.
You'll see him on the sidelines. They'll have photos of him with the headsets on,
like we saw Valtteri all of last year.
He popped up everywhere.
But like if he can genuinely contribute to that team, helping out, doing simulator sessions and setup work and whatever, and be involved in their program and really prove to Haas that they might look at him and go, okay, wow, he actually is really talented. Maybe he didn't get the best opportunity where he was at Alpine. And if he can build that reputation up, then that could help him, whether Haas decide to keep him as a reserve driver or not. But he just wants to be the number one pick over Rio if they have another driver with an issue.
Yeah, look, not a bad team to be involved with in that regards as well. Obviously, with Toyota Gazoo Racing being a part of that, so getting the experience with that team. So, as I was saying, the Japanese connection as well with the Super Formula. We've talked about the fact that Ollie Behrman has on a rise, and there's potential that he'll be going to Ferrari at some stage in the future. Who knows what will happen to Esteban Ocon? But so potential for a seat opening up in the next couple of years.
Watch this space.
Also had another driver signing, which was Mercedes, who snapped up Joshua Dirksen for their development program. He's 22 years old, having raced in Formula 2 for the last 2 years, with 12 podiums and 4 victories. So some good experience for Mercedes to have there in regards to their development program.
Yeah, good driver. He's done pretty well.
From going to a 22-year-old to a slightly older driver, now we're not putting bums in seats, but at the same time that Williams announced their livery, Aston Martin announced that they have hired Jenson Button as the Aston Martin ambassador. Now, Jenson was a previous ambassador for Williams, but is now coming across to Aston Martin. You can see the announcement there. But what I really love about this is bringing Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso back together. For those with long memories or who have seen this pop up every now and then, jump onto YouTube. In fact, I'll put the link into the description because if you want a good laugh, back in 2016, there was a US ad for Mobil One highlighting their partnership with McLaren Honda, where they had both, they had Fernando driving and Jenson as a passenger in the Honda S800. And seriously, if you want to laugh, it is as corny as it comes. So, but yeah, so a little bit of
Fernando with the Stetsons on's bad enough.
But some nice pocket money for Jenson there, team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's good. He's really well liked everywhere. He's a great commentator. He's a great personality. He's still involved in Formula One, and he would be a great representative for their brand if they want to roll him out to functions and events. So good on him. It's good.
Roll him out. Nice.
Exactly.
I imagine they're rolling Alonso out, but Button's
in a wheelchair. He's getting old.
Button can push him.
Sorry, Jenson. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing.
Do you know what I would love to see? And it's not going to happen.
Hannibal Lecter kind of bringing Jenson Button out in the dolly.
No,
that would be good.
Hello, Lance. But I'd love to see Jenson back in the car, and that'd be awesome to have Fernando and Jenson actually driving for Aston. Not going to happen, but I'd love it. Our listeners and viewers, you may have recalled a couple of weeks ago, we started a little game, someone else started a little game for us. Stefano Domenicali had started the Where's Stefano Now? And so we've seen Stefano pop up a couple of times this week. Schwags, you've shared with us that he was out in the freezing cold. He had been given the honours of carrying the Olympic torch for the Winter Olympics. So we have him there.
All the celebrities, isn't he? Stefano, Snoop Dogg.
Bloody happy too. It's freezing cold, but look at him. He's really excited by it.
His face is frozen.
Well, maybe it's frozen solid. Yeah.
And then we also had some of his official duties where he appeared with Eddie Q, the senior VP from Apple, who were talking about the collaboration, which was, they were asked, what was the one word you'd say about the collaboration? They said passion, with bringing top-tier 4K broadcast to US audiences. I guess this begs the question, what does this mean for the future? So as Apple's doing the broadcasting for Formula One for 2026, should Sky be worried for the future?
Collaboration is, when they say passion, do they mean profit instead? Is that a typo?
It's a code word.
I don't know.
Yep.
I know what happens when I'm trying to write stuff on my phone with my thumbs and then the wrong word comes out.
Well, to be fair, though, it's obviously not coming out to the rest of the world. So it's the US get the good stuff and the rest of us get screwed with just standard.
Well, from what I read, I think the F1 Apple collab is just for US Apple accounts, not international ones.
Correct. I know we've criticised, but I feel like Sky do a pretty good job of the F1 broadcasting. Like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in terms of if someone else comes in and takes over all that, the commentators and I don't know, the formats.
Yeah.
Just cut and paste, I suppose, but
look, it's a good job, and they've got experienced commentators, and they do a lot of the world feeds that get picked up. But I think that sort of tech that Apple are trying to bring out with multiple views, all the stuff that Sky has with their, you press the red button thing where you can look at different views from different cars and all that sort of thing. I believe that's what Apple is rolling out, which would be great. Like we still get a standard single shot, whatever the FOM feed is, and no more. So it'd be nice if we got some fancier coverage as well.
Well, Apple just want to sell more Apple TV, don't they?
Of course.
Yeah, it's branding for them too.
Right,
Yeah, and they've got the movie, so they're going to get more people to watch the movie, and maybe another movie is rumored to be coming out. So,
well, you've got to subscribe, don't you, to see it?
Exactly.
As we start to approach the start of the season in Melbourne, we're starting to turn our attention to predictions and points. So to start us off with a little bit of an easy kick in, we are looking at a head-to-head between the drivers, and we thought we'd start off with introducing a few of the newer drivers to our viewers and listeners as we get into the testing. So we'll talk a little bit about a couple of the drivers, and then for the four of us, we'll then choose who we think is going to beat their teammate from each of the teams. And that will go to, if you get that correct, you'll get 2 points at the end of the year. If you get it wrong, you'll get 0 points. So we'll kick off.
Have I got time to get the hat out?
No, don't worry, Dan. You and I can get 3-4 zeros here. We'll be right.
I
Don't worry.
realise this was a
50-50.
test.
You can flip a coin, Dan. It's a 50-50.
Okay.
Here we
Thank God
go
there's
in
no
first.
pressure.
Who have we got first?
We're going to jump in with our first true rookie, which we go to the Cash App Racing Bulls team. And so the veteran within the team here is Liam Lawson, as we all know him as Punchy.
Not much of a veteran, is he? Like he's really only had a season and a half.
season and a
or so,
half.
so.
Yeah.
For that
Veteran,
team, he's the veteran.
It's a very young driver lineup, as an inexperienced driver lineup. So it'll, challenge for both of them.
So Liam joined F1 officially in 2024, but his first race was in 2023 at the Dutch Grand Prix with AlphaTauri after Daniel Ricciardo broke his hand in practice. He's had 35 races in total to date with 44 career points, and his highest position has been third. He was promoted last year to Red Bull for only 2 races, only to be replaced by Yuki Tsunoda, who was dropped by Red Bull at the end of last year's. So his teammate, the rookie for 2026, is Arvid Lindblad. So hailing from London, England, the surname obviously doesn't sound very English. It's from his Swedish father, and he also has Indian heritage. He's joining this year, and he's the youngest ever race winner in both Formula 3 and Formula 2, which was at the age of 16 and 17 respectively. He was the last Helmut Marko appointment. So read into that what you will. Some rumor that means that he may be on the nose a little bit for the Red Bull management. But
so he won't be there long.
Well, really, it's going to come down to performance. Lockie.
So, okay, question for you. Given the non-bias coverage from the UK people, given this guy's English, is Liam even going to get a single frame on the camera that they'll just be following this guy around the track, won't they? Like Liam won't be seen again.
Possibly is he ploughing into his teammate?
That might be the only time.
I personally think you'll see more of Arvid because he'll be in front of Lawson for most of the season.
Well, that's a vote for you. He's done his vote. You can take that down.
You can take that as my vote. I think Arvid will score more points than Liam Lawson.
Lockie, for yourself?
I'm going to go with Punchy. I think Punchy's going to knock him out of the way each time, so it'll be all right.
You've got to catch him first.
That first corner when they all slow down, straight to the middle.
Yeah, no, it could be a really close battle, this one, I think, but I think Arvid will come in on top.
Yep. And how about you, Schwags?
Lindblad for me. Punchy's still too angry.
Yeah, look, and I'm the same. Lindblad for me, he was 0.4 of a second faster than his teammate in Barcelona. Not that that's anything really to go by, but he is a very good young talent, a great driver. I think he's got a very good future in Formula One, and we'll see a lot from him.
Looks a bit like Hadjar too. I reckon he'll do something like that.
Just mark me down for 2 points, Christian. The rest of you get 0. It's fine.
So moving on from the Racing Bulls, again, another set of rookies for this year. We are going to Cadillac.
Rookies.
So
this is the opposite of Racing Bulls.
This is a stretch, I think, for the term rookie.
How many races between them? Oh, my God.
So we've got Sergio Perez from Guadalajara in Mexico. Now, he has, as you're saying, he's had 281 F1 races, a total of 1,638 points, and his highest position was first, which he achieved 3 times. He has had 29 DNFs, and to your point is his pedigree, starting with Sauber, went to McLaren, Force India, Racing Point, and then Red Bull, where he has had a forced sabbatical for the last 12 months, which has only boosted his popularity more, with many other drivers struggling in the second Red Bull seat. So I think that really increased his value in Formula One.
It didn't hurt him in the end, no.
No. And then we also have our other rookie, Valtteri Bottas from Nastola, Finland.
I like the look of this young bloke. He could do all right.
Well, I was going to say, or you could actually say he's from McLaren Vale in South Australia.
He's got
I
the
think that
top
sounds
to go,
better. Let's
isn't
go
he?
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got business at the front, party at the back. I love it.
Just the Australian look through and through. No problems.
Yeah. Another Aussie on the grid.
So Aussie Valtteri joined F1 in 2013 with Williams. He's had 246 races, a total career points of 1,797. His highest podium has been first, and he's achieved that 20 times, but he also has had 28 DNFs. He did cut his teeth in Finland doing ice and snow racing, and he's driven for Williams, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, who then became Kip Sauber, and then he was the reserve driver for Mercedes last year. So thoughts in regards to who's going to win out of these two gentlemen?
Mate, you've got to
Valtteri
take
for
the
me.
Aussie. Valtteri for me, yeah.
Yeah, Valtteri for me.
This is harder to pick than
I
a
reckon he's
broken
been
nose.
sitting over Toto's shoulder for so long now, he's just mad to get out there and do something.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sergio for this one.
He's
And
got
I'm going to
zero
go
twice now.
Valtteri. So
But honestly, it's like a 50-50 toy cost.
That will actually be a good battle to watch between that pair, and I think that's a great pairing.
yeah. Look, I think for both of these that we've had so far, we're going to have some really good battles. It's going to be interesting.
I feel like it's going to be who's going to get least frustrated with the challenges of that car. And
don't forget, Valtteri has a habit of racking up some penalty points. We do know that coming to Melbourne, he has a 4 place grid penalty that he has to serve. So that was carried over from.
So you'll start in
2024.
fifth.
Yeah.
Good call, Dan. Good call, Dan.
How can you go fall back from last?
Well, you go back to the front again.
Well,
You
what-
start at the front, then you work way backwards.
He doesn't start in pits, does he?
Depends on
Who
where
knows?
he finishes.
All right. So from the new entry to another new entry, we've got Audi, who have taken over Kick Sauber. And so the true team that are bringing their own engine and their own car all to the track this year. And the drivers for Audi are Nico Hülkenberg, who comes from Emmerich am Rhein in Germany. Did I do that well, Schwags?
Yeah, perfect.
Hey.
If our German viewers want to time in and let us know how that went, that'd be
Yes.
great.
That's right.
Christian's Deutsch was as good as Dan's Italian right then.
Sorry, I pulled out mid-toto, so...
I was deciding it. What can I say?
Joining Formula One in 2010, he's had 251 races with 622 career points. The biggest highlight was the fact that he had
His
his
win.
first podium last year, taking first. He has had 44 DNFs and has driven for Williams, Force India, Sauber, Renault, Racing Point, Aston Martin, Haas, and Kick Sauber before it then became Audi. We then have his teammate, who is Gabriel Bortoleto from Sao Paulo in Brazil, joined last year and has had a total of 24 races with a total of 19 career points. Highest position being 7th, which he achieved 3 times, and he has had 5 DNFs. So Gabriel has reinvigorated the Ayrton Senna passion from Brazilian F1 fans. So he's carrying a very big legacy on his shoulders and a lot of expectation of a nation. He is the Formula 2 champion, and he's also managed by Fernando Alonso. Schwags, who do you think is going to take out the...
It's going to be the Hulk. Yep. He's going to manage that beast of an Audi machine, and he's going to kill it.
The Hulk too, just for nostalgic sake. I think Gabby will have a good season, but to be fair, I don't think that car's going to do much this season. It's going to take them a year to actually get
What's
it in.
that hurt?
Much as I love Audi, Hulk will finish ahead, but it might be second last and last place. So
Yeah, interesting. I'm going Bortoleto on this one. I think he's had a season, and the next season here he's going to. I think I can see him doing well, and Nico must be getting to the end of his Formula One career at some point soon. So Good luck, Gabriel.
Okay, and like my other two Patriots, I'm going the Hulk as well. Look, yes, Gabby's a young talent, but I think he's probably one of my least inspired rookies from last year. You know, I just don't think, I think that he's still got to cut his teeth a little bit more. And I think Nico's got a little bit more pedigree and will take it out. So, all right. So with that, that's the end of our head-to-head. So that completes our first head-to-head for this season, as we will continue to do this leading up to the first race in Australia, along with our other predictions. Barcelona was a smooth start to what we've recognised as a revolutionary era, with reliable runs, exciting designs, but Bahrain will reveal more as we start to see the teams really put rubber to the road and see what they can get out of these vehicles, which starts this week, Wednesday, February 11 to the 13th. So be sure to tune in next week as we analyse what we've seen from that testing. We do have two more livery reveals from both Aston Martin and Constructors Champion McLaren early tomorrow morning. So we may drop an extra episode later this week to share our reaction to those cars. But until then, any other final thoughts, team?
I'm looking forward to seeing some cars for real out on track again.
Yeah, I'd agree. I want to see them wind up and actually see just how reliable they are when they're running the engines closer to level 10 as opposed to level 5. I reckon we've seen them so far.
I think head-to-head battles would be good to watch. See if the grid's turned a bit upside down and see who sucks at the end of the day and who does well.
And whoever goes sideways.
Absolutely.
Correct.
I'll be going sideways, yep.
So be sure to like and subscribe so you can get more of our episodes as we go through the season. Please put any of your comments below for anything you'd like to ask us or anything you'd like us to delve into as we analyse the teams, the drivers, and what we expect to see from Formula One for 2026. Until then, we'll see you on the next lap.